Hello, it's Brett Campbell here, and today I want to talk about the power of giving, and I want to share with you a close story that's really close to my heart. A few months ago we were travelling, my wife Emily and I were travelling over in Bali. Beautiful country. If you've never been, I highly suggest you get over there, despite all the possibly bad media that you've heard about it. But if you go to the right places, it's absolutely beautiful. It's almost like my second home. So we're over in Uluwatu at this particular time, and we're enjoying a few days of what we would call the seclusion component to our holidays. So we like to spend a few days in the built-up, busier area, you know, around the shops and the cafes and so forth. But we always like to spend a couple of days to connect with nature, to connect with ourselves in a more secluded area. And went down to Uluwatu, which is the bottom part of the island, and we're staying at a nice little resort there. And we just spent the day at the beach, and we're on our scooter and we're just cruising through around the streets on our way back to the hotel just to grab some lunch. And as we were driving along the road, there was this, in the distance, there was what looked to be like a small trailer on the side of the road just moving really slowly. But as we proceeded closer, it was actually a very old elderly gentleman. So if I had to predict an age, I would have to go say 70 plus. And on this gentleman's back, I couldn't believe it. He was literally, there was bags and bags of things that he was just carrying, which ended up being every item that he owned. It was his life. He was walking around the streets with his life on his back, and that really struck me. I was like, wow, this is, you know, and I mean, I've seen homeless people before, and you know, but this particular person somehow just really resonated with me. And you know, I proceeded, I was, you know, do the checkout as you do with people, and I looked down at his feet and he had no shoes on. And literally his feet were, you could see dried blood from walking on stones where he'd had cracks and cuts into his feet. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is horrific. He's carrying his life on his back. He's got like an old stick as a bit of a walking stick, because you could tell he, you know, his hips and everything were out of alignment. And look, it just really touched me. And me and Emily were thinking, we're like, let's go and get some shoes. Right, let's get this guy some shoes. Imagine what he'd feel like. It looked like he had never worn a pair of shoes in his life. And we're like, well, I mean, I don't really have any shoes to give the man. And we both had bare feet. So, you know, we're just cruising on. Hey, preface this, don't ride a scooter with bare feet, but we're in Bali, right? So we're in Bali. So we thought, let's do this. So we jumped back on the scooter, and we cruised back to the hotel. And I grabbed my Havaianas, my thongs, whatever you want to call them, jandals, wherever you are. So I grabbed my thongs, flip-flops, for all my American friends. Grabbed my flip-flops, and we went back to find this gentleman. And literally, he'd maybe moved about 40 meters, if that. And we pulled over, and we proceeded to approach the gentleman and say, yeah, hello. And he didn't understand a word of English. Okay, so he didn't understand a word of English, but there seems to be this universal language that everyone seems to understand, and it's the language of energy, right? It's the language of energy. You can just feel something when something's happening, and this gentleman, we could see in his eyes just totally light up, because he knew, I think he knew what was about to happen. And so I grabbed my thongs and we went over to him and said, look, we want to give you these. And we put them down on the ground in front of his feet, and you could see he was struggling to even stand on one foot to put his foot in there, because he was getting out of balance, because again, he was carrying his life on his back. And he went to put on the thong, and you could tell he didn't really know what to do, because the thong part lined up in the wrong toe. Okay, so we had to take it back off and fit it almost to a shoe fitting on his foot. And at the time, something happened that was quite remarkable. Along the street, there were residents who'd come out of their home, and they were stopping to look at what was happening, right? Because they were probably like, well, what are these guys doing? And they stopped to look what was happening, and they could see what we were doing. And there was a family down the road, and you know, they did like the thumbs up to us, and we were like, oh, that's awesome, you know. It really felt like we were doing something that was worthwhile, and that's like a $30 pair of jandals, right? No love lost. And then all of a sudden, we take off again on the scooter just to go back around the corner and to turn around and come back, and then all of a sudden this guy was vanished. Right? He'd gone. He'd got his new pair of jandals and he was off. I'm not sure where he went. I think he may have went into someone's yard or whatever they'll call it over there. He walked in down an alleyway and he was gone, vanished forever. But that lit up our day. It lit us up for the entire rest of the holiday, really, because it was something. And look, it's even lighting me up now. I'm being able to share this story with you, and that comes back to simply the power of giving. You're going to receive more in life when you actually give more. Imagine that, okay? Think about it. When you give someone a gift, and generally people only receive gifts on a birthday or Christmas time, generally. How do you feel when you actually give a gift? I actually get more excited by giving a gift and seeing someone's face, seeing their reaction, than actually receiving a gift myself. Think about being able to have the power of giving on a regular basis. And I'm not just talking about giving tangible things. I'm talking about giving your time. Right? Giving your time. Go and what's the word I'm looking for here? Go and work at a homeless shelter. Go and volunteer somewhere. Go and volunteer and help a friend out with something. Go and spend a day in their garden helping them pick weeds or whatever it is. Volunteer your time. Volunteer your energy. Okay, that moment that we had with that elderly gentleman, that was all about energy, because he couldn't communicate in the word. It was about energy. You could just see that he was extremely grateful for what had just happened. Utilize the power of giving a moment. Giving a moment. For example, you could be sitting on the train and an elderly person comes in. Get up out of your seat and give them the seat. That's a moment. That's something that you'll take away so many strong things from that particular moment. It'll tell a lot about yourself. Right, so go out there throughout your day and look, where can I start creating moments? Where can I start creating those moments that is going to create a snowball effect? Okay, it's going to create a snowball effect. It will. If you receive, so if you're on the other end of it and you're receiving so much in life, the natural progression is for you to take that and go, wow, I feel this is pretty cool. I want to be able to now pass that on. That's why there's things called pay it forward, do all these type of things that help the world out, right? That help the world out as a whole. So we're not just here for ourselves. Right? We're not just here for ourselves to live this amazing, wonderful, fulfilled life. Because how boring would that be if you're the only one doing it? We want to impart that and we want to inject that onto everyone else. How can I help someone else live a life of meaning? I'm doing these videos because I really want to be able to impart on you. Whether it's the story that you hear about the old man giving away some thongs, it might trigger off in you to go, you know what, that's pretty cool, I'm going to go and do something like this. And again, starts the snowball effect. So I really want you to think about the power of giving. Where can you give more in your life? Time, energy, whether it could be money, it could be resources, whatever it is. Search for those moments that are going to have a lasting impact. Okay, so I'm Brett Campbell. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, go out there and live with intention, love with passion, and never give up on your dreams.